It's that little gay talk show with Joel Tatum and Charlotte Shotguns. Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Literally.
For both of us in the room, girl, it's another episode of That Little Gay Talk Show, and a very special episode. I'm here with Charlotte Shotguns.
Hi, I finally made it.
She's finally made it back into the studio for the last time. Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
For I'll be back every now and then for a little pop in.
He'll pop in, check in. We'll do like a check-in. Just to make sure you're alive. Just make sure, you know,
things under work.
Yeah, exactly. Getting some underwear occasionally. I might have to model for you again sometime. Yeah. Sometime again. But we gonna hit the gym the next time it's up. You know, my friend David has one of the pictures from the modeling thing because I sent them a picture because I had to say this. This was the first time that I allowed my body to be shown outdoors at a bar
in daylight
and bitch boy undies, pink and gold ones.
It was pink
with the little alligator design in the front
and some lace too.
Yeah, exactly, with my gangly arms and my big belly. And I felt no shame whatsoever. I had such a good time.
He was over there walking for like hours, like, Joe, go put your clothes back on.
I felt no shame whatsoever. I had such a good time. And, you know, I've always had body issues for a long time. I was either really skinny.
Yeah.
I went through a short period of time where I was doing weights, but I wasn't really, I was getting firm and everything else, but I wasn't getting big. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get big. Unless I got off the weights and then started eating. And then I got big in the wrong place. So it was fun. That photo shoot was amazing. But David has, every time I call him, that picture pops up. And he showed me the picture, and I'm like, he started laughing, and I'm like, girl, I had a good time on that. I don't care. I do not care. I guess she thought I was going to be like, oh, girl, take that picture off. And I'm like, no, girl, show that picture with pride.
With pride.
Show that picture. You can show it to your friends. Please show it to your Aunt Denise.
That's going to be your new growler picture.
It should be. You know what? I might use it as a growler picture.
Why not?
But I'm going to put it in the private. So that, you know, if they want to get to know, they, you know, this is what you're getting. Okay? I mean, this looks good in a picture. But this is what you're getting, so you better be okay with that. No disappointments, but most people, and like I said, because of my own perception of my body, you know, some of the guys I've been with have said you have a pretty good body. I don't understand why you hate your body, but
yeah,
you have a pretty good body, and I'm like, okay, well, dad bods are in, so I'm pretty okay with it, So yeah, I had a great time on that photo shoot, and it's not the first photo shoot. I was, you know, the House of Blues. I mean, the House of when y'all were doing the Houses for Pride, the photo shoot.
Yes, we had the whole photo.
Violets Are Blue was there, and I was geeking out because she's sitting there, and I kept looking at her, and no one introduced me. I was sitting there, and I was just watching Charlotte and all the other queens, and I had come on the back end. Y'all were pretty much finishing up and just taking a few more pictures. So I'd come on the back end, and there she is sitting there just sitting there, just chilling. And I kept looking at her and looking at her and looking at her. I'm like, that's Violets Are Blue.
I just did it last night too.
I'm like, oh my God, but I wasn't 100% sure until you walked over and said, hey, you know, that's Violets Are Blue over there. This is that. And I'm like, I knew that was her. Because she was just talking and she was just chill. She's so funny.
Yeah, she is so funny.
She's so funny in and out of drag. She is hilarious, especially out of drag. And she was just talking to me. And I was like, because I didn't know what else to say to her, because I I actually just wanted to run over there, give her a hug, take some selfies, and do all of that. But that girl she was tired, and she had a lot of stuff going on. So I understood. You know, I was just trying to keep my distance and just be in the background and everything else. But that was equal, and I got to see what it's like back behind the scenes. It's not my first time behind the scenes when it comes to drag, but being a photo shoot, it was just totally different, and I really enjoyed it.
The chaos, though, the whole thing was just chaotic.
So much chaos.
Because like nobody was showing up, and then Claire was like, "Y'all need to get here, or you have to pay for your own pictures." And then boom, out of nowhere, 3 people showed up.
It's amazing how all these queens coming in 8. What it was? Y'all ran late. Y'all were only supposed to run until 5.
Something, from
because from 2 to 5. When I got up there, I thought I was like super late, and y'all were already finished and everything else.
No, we had to wait people until 8.
And I walk up to the bartender, and he's like, "Oh no, girl, they're still upstairs doing pictures." I'm like, it figures. Queens are never on time for nothing. I swear to God.
They aren't.
They are never, especially when it's something important, like a photo shoot or something like that. Still never show up on time. Never. And I understand, especially if you live in Houston, and if you live, some of these queens live pretty far away. I mean, I'm like, I don't understand how y'all live so far outside of the loop. I mean, to me, the Galleria is like the suburbs. So it's like,
I live past the Galleria. I'm moving to Montrose soon, just because it's easier.
But when some of these queens talk about coming from Spring and Katy and all this other stuff, I'm like, I know it might be a little cheaper out there, but what's to do in Spring? Everything in Spring it's all family. Because I know this because all my family lives in Spring. Yeah. They all live right down the street from each other. Literally right down the street from each other. I mean, you can walk to my brother's house and then walk down the street to my sister's house and then walk down the street to my stepmother's house, etc., etc., etc. I mean, they live like all around in the same neighborhood. I live in Montrose because I'm like, I can't have y'all knocking on my door all the time, because these are the type of people. I love them, but that's the type of people they are. They just come here and knocking. Knock on the door anytime they want and want to be all up in your business. What you doing? Blah blah blah. What you doing at my house at 9 o'clock in the morning? That's what I want. What kind of business do you need to come over here for at 9 o'clock in the morning? So I'm like, We live in Montrose, where it's like, if y'all want to come in, y'all come into town, have a good time. And when they come into town, they do all the stuff, and it's like they're coming in from the country or something. And they come in and do all the stuff and everything else, and then they go back home. And I'm like, that works. That's all the family I need for maybe a month or two, and then y'all can come back and visit again. Yeah, just come every other month. Yeah, exactly. This was the type of family that would call each other. They had the hotline. All the ladies had the hotline. And that was, okay, this is a new concept for you Gen Zers and millennials. We had a landline. That was back in the days of the landline. And three-way calling, let me tell you something. Mama would call her sister, then they would be on three-way. Sister would call other sister. Other sister would put them on three-way. So it'd be 9 or 10 of them on the phone. Have a conference call. They invented conference calling, y'all. They did. They are, and the gossip. Oh my God! I told my grandmother I was gay. Took 5 minutes for the whole entire family to find out.
She was like, "Oh, little did you know you were on the
and I said,
conference call. Yeah, it's on mute."
And I said, "Can you please keep this a secret until I'm ready to tell my stepmother?" 5 minutes later, she told literally every person in the family except my stepmother, which she was going to find out anyway because one of them was going to call her anyway. Just keep it a secret. Yeah. I'm like, my dear, come on now. I only told you. I had to tell Donna because Donna had already been asking questions, and then Donna had to tell Michelle because Michelle said she kind of knew, but she didn't know, and he was gonna come out sooner or later. So that I'm like, okay. Well, what's the point in telling her? I'm just gonna hit her tell her. So yeah, so that's how this family is. They're very close knit, but they're all up in your business. All up in your business. And like I said, I don't mean no harm. Everybody's family is the way that their family is. And this is how you put up with family when you are okay with your family. So that's my story. And you know what? To be quite honest, for Charlotte's last show, I wanted to make sure that
we're going to talk about Joel the whole time on Charlotte's last show.
I know. It's all. Yeah, we're talking about Joel the entire. Only 10 minutes. We're only 10. Only like about 7 minutes of me, and then the rest is you. I just wanted to get my 7 minutes in because the rest is going to be about you, especially all the stuff. You know what? I want to hear all the stuff that happened at Pride.
Oh God, we haven't even gotten into that.
We haven't even. Oh my God, we haven't even.
Let's start with Pride. Jeez, the whole thing was chaotic but fun. I think the first on Friday, it was pretty just a regular night, like regular bartending shift. Wasn't too crazy. We did have like a line, but Saturday night I had a dude drag in the. Sorry, I had a dude drag in the morning, and because I had a dude drag later that day, bartended in the morning, helped them set up. Then I did the show in like fucking 100-degree weather, humid as fuck. 3 numbers, I was dead. Then at night, I had like a little hour to rest. And then that Saturday night, were you fucking busy? It was so crazy. Like, I went in at like 8:30, 8:15, didn't stop until 1:50, 1:55. It was just line after line after line. And then there's in pictures that they showed us of like the drone. You can see that my line and like the Travis, he worked next to me. Our line was like all the way to the fucking front. That was crazy. Just nasty ass people, and then people trying to cut. I'm like, y'all need to stop. Get the fuck out. Like there is at one point I had 2 lines, and I'm like, y'all need to get together because you guys are overwhelming me. And then another line started forming over here next to the register, and they're like banging. I was like, that's not a line, miss.
This was outside bars that y'all had set up across the street from the Eagle. So, and by the way, your first time in Houston for Pride.
Yeah, that was my first time. Yeah.
Even though he came here during COVID when we had nothing going on, his first Pride in Houston, which we still didn't really have. Girl, I'm talking about when we had the parades and the festival. Girl, girl, it would have been far worse. Trust me, it would have been far worse.
Well, then we have another event in October.
Of course,
is it October or November? So that should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really am because it was fun. The money was really nice.
So, you know what? I have to say to all the bartenders in Houston during Pride, bravo to y'all because y'all. Girl, I think after about an hour or so, for me, about an hour or so of the heat, I would have just went, girl, bye.
It wasn't that bad. Because like, you had all the water you could drink. You had all the shots to take. And just people were like being super generous. There was a few times where people were like, can I get 12 lemon drops, 7 Mick Ultras, 5 Bud Lights, 10 waters? And I was like, girl, slow down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, let me make the shots first and I'll get your beers.
Did she walk up with a tray? I mean, with the card?
No, she came with a whole fucking group of people.
Oh, wow.
That was, did you get those large ass orders? Like 17 lemon drops, like fucking like a whole 12 pack of beer, a whole case of water, a whole bottle of vodka.
Just so y'all know,
Julio's in the background.
He's doing some work in the background for the next episode of the show. And he's going to be my new co-host when we start season 3. So we're going to get into that later. Right now it's all about Charlotte. But
it was super fun. Like, the whole event was super fun. I was happy. I haven't worked like that since, I want to say, Florida. Because I worked a little bit of working in Albuquerque, but that was never like a big thing. Because Albuquerque's small and there's only like maybe like 200 gay people there. And then whatever comes in every now and then.
That sounds like when I went to Pride in Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh my God,
that was interesting. The cute little. Yeah. We were. I'm not gonna make this about me. Don't worry. we were like in the dead center of Alaska, and I was working for a cruise line, and we drove into town. We got this terrible motel room.
Oh, jeez.
Terrible. I wanted to stay downtown because, look, we were making good money. I wanted to stay downtown, and they were like, no, it would be cheaper. We need to save our coins. let's just stay at a little motel on the outskirts. And I'm like, okay, girl, you can hear gunshots. The 3 days.
Not gunshots.
We were outside. The hotel manager stalked me the entire 3 days I was there. He would not leave me alone. Girl, he would not leave me alone.
Was he trying to get with you? Or
he was trying to get with me, girl. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I don't mean no harm. Now I'm at that age. But I was like, come on, Grandpa. No. No, I'm not moving to Alaska. I'm not coming to live in the woods with you.
Not the woods.
No,
Not the gunshot infested woods.
But and it was 6 of us in one hotel room. And girl, no, you don't stick 6 people in one hotel in one motel. I said hotel. Sorry, motel room on the outskirts of town. You know, the funny thing is that you had they have a lot of small airports, with like single engine planes and all this other stuff. So we were right next to a little. That was cute. We had a cute little scene in the back with the airplanes and all this other stuff. But for the most part, girl, it was a harrowing experience. But the parade was amazing for Anchorage. So so I think it was only 150 people.
Yeah,
and they had like two and a half gay bars, and I say 2.5 because the half gay bar was.
One gay night show. Like the one of the bars with the one gay night.
Yeah, exactly. And because the women outnumber the men in Alaska, a lot of lesbians.
I can imagine.
A lot of lesbians. But you know, the women in Alaska are kind of hardy too, so I couldn't tell who was a lesbian and who was a heterosexual woman in Alaska because they kind of hardy. And flannel shirts and muscles and everything else. And
jeez.
Even the heterosexual women are walking out with their husbands. I'm like, oh.
Is that a gay couple? What is that?
Gay couple? Are y'all best friends? What's going on? That's your husband. Okay.
So that was like the Pride event over there. So. This one was big, though. I went to Ripcord had a really nice setup. They had like that giant, the, what is it called? The Red Bull.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, Easton had all that stuff set up. When I went over there to...
was he inside of a car? Wasn't he? Yeah, I saw him.
I think he was inside. Well, we went on a Friday night, and that's when they had just set everything up.
I think we went on a walk on Sunday. Sunday or Saturday, and we saw him.
And they had a little pup show,
yeah.
They had a little pup show going on. You know, it's 100 degrees outside, and these bitches walking around in latex. I'm like...
Neoprene
and latex, and I'm like... all I can think of is, girl, I'm hot just looking at you. It is hot out here.
I tried wearing like nothing. I was just wearing like crop tops, tank tops, mesh shirts. Then I was like, this is all you're getting.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
fucking hot out here.
But they were outside just doing their thing, and I'm like, okay, Miss Neoprene and Miss Latex, and hopefully Miss Talcum Powder, because that's
talcum powder.
Yeah, because that's how you're going to get it on and off. Because I know it's going to be some rashes. Girl, if I wore all that stuff, girl, I'd just have rashes everywhere. No, I'd have heat rash everywhere, girl. No, I'd be itchy and all kinds of stuff. So, no, but it was cute. It was a different culture, so to speak. Yeah.
I think Ripcord really emphasizes it's not a family-friendly event.
Oh, they really do emphasize this is not a family-friendly event. Although, I think a lot... Did anybody see any kids out there?
No, I didn't see any kids.
No. Oh, thank God.
Oh, you know, I did see. When I was performing, they were walking by. But, like, my whole mix had, like bitch, fuck. Like, suck a dick. And then you can see the parents walking away.
So, yeah. I mean, I didn't see... Because usually at Pride, you see a lot of... Now, that's at the festival and
I think it's at the parade. No festival and
Since there was no festival and parade, and look, if I'm a gay man with kids, I'm not bringing them out. I'm not bringing them out to the bars because I know it's going to be all kinds of debauchery and all kinds of stuff.
Buffoonery.
And
booties and dicks out.
Yeah, booties and dicks, especially booties and dicks that are near alcohol. No.
Chaos.
Yes, the chaos. Now, although, did somebody have a bouncy house? I thought I saw a bouncy house at one of the...
No. I think Ripcord's thing looked like a bouncy house. Like their tent. Because it literally looked like a bouncy house. Like a castle. Because it was just a giant, giant thing.
Because when I did the show with Wendy Taylor at Buddy's, I only took a peek outside on their back. I saw the dunk tank at Buddy's on the back. In the back. And I think that's where I thought I saw.
I saw their with Julio.
I know Julio in the dress, y'all need to go.
He like came up to me and I was like, "Who the fuck is this bitch?"
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Hey, you're not gonna say hi?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't even recognize you."
She walked up to us and I'm like, "Girl, you look good." But that purse, where'd you get that purse, bitch? That purse did not go with what she was wearing.
She was wearing like a sundress, a sun hat, some heels.
No, they weren't heels. What do you call those things? Wedges. She was wearing wedges. And girl, they were cute.
They were cute. The outfit was cute. She looked like she was ready for brunch.
In fact, one of my friends, I forgot to tell you, he wants to know where you got those wedges, girl.
The Salvation Army.
Because he's like, girl, because he invited me to his pride in Arkansas, but I think they're going to be having it in October too. So I'm like, wait, girl, please don't invite me because I might be working Pride in October here. So I think, but there is a set. They have theirs October 19th, and he said they have that. That's when they have it every year. But I don't even. Does anybody even know?
No, they haven't released a
date. They haven't released a date yet.
The beginning of October or the beginning of November. They haven't set out on a date yet.
Yeah, they're supposed to set out a date. I think July 25th.
Yeah,
I think they're having their. That's when they're officially going to put a date.
I was like, hopefully they have it. Like, can you imagine if they have like a parade, a Halloween Pride event? That would,
girl. We were talking about that too, and I'm like,
I'm ready for it.
I'm all ready for it
because I'm gonna be a spooky bitch.
Well, you know what? Somebody get out a calendar. I would like to see if they do it in November. Or if they do it in October, it would have to be on a weekend. So I wonder when Halloween, what day Halloween would be on.
Halloween is on a Sunday.
Oh, ooh, why not?
Ooh, why not do Pride?
Sickening. Can you imagine a Halloween parade? Then if it's like successful, they'll probably do it every year.
Bitch.
Can you imagine?
You know what's going to happen is that Houstonians are going to so like the weather at that time that they're going to be like, we're not doing this in June.
Well, they're going to eventually have two. We're going to have two prides. Can you imagine?
Exactly.
Houston Pride and Stonewall Pride.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we're not. We don't want to go back to. We don't want to go back to June.
Yeah, we're going to be throwing bricks, throw candies.
Yeah, exactly. And let me tell you something. Not last year, the year before. That Pride, I've been to the downtown Pride since they moved it 2015, which iconically, and I say iconically, was the same year that gay marriage became legal.
Oh, wow.
I mean, really, like 3 days later, 3 days beforehand, before we had our festival, they had just legalized gay marriage.
Oh, wow.
So it was an even huger celebration that year. Because everybody was just over the moon about it. And with my friends, us being older, we had this conversation. I remember having this conversation, I think, in maybe 2000. And one of my friends said, we will probably never see gay marriage in our lifetime. I'm like, no, I think we will.
It's just a small thing that they don't fucking pass. So stupid.
I'm like, I think we will. I think it'll happen.
Yeah.
And sure enough, we had to go through the Supreme Court to do it, which was, by the way, that was a brilliant strategy because we've been trying through the years to go through the Senate, could never get anything done in the Senate. And I was not 100% sure how I felt about them going through the Supreme Court to do it because at any time they could overturn it. And that was that's still my biggest problem with going through the Supreme Court is because anytime they wanted to, they could overturn it. Or they could strip it down like they do abortion laws and all this other stuff. So that's still my slight worry when it comes to gay marriage. I really wish it had gone.
I think it's just so crazy. People don't mind their business that we can't get gay marriage, and there's so many things for women that they can't get like abortions, or they can't get what's it called birth control.
And I think we live in
y'all need to mind your own business. We're not in the 1920s
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly. Which is ironic because in the late 20th century, it was all about mind your own business. Now everybody's in the
Like,
21st century. Everybody's all up in your business.
Bitch, in 20 seconds, we get out of my business.
Exactly. I'm like, that's the only thing I would return to the old days. Would you please mind your own business?
Period.
What I do, who I do, and what I want to be has no concern.
Like, y'all need to get out. Like, y'all too much in my business.
I don't understand. It really bugs me because I don't really understand why people so need to figure out who you are, to put a label on you, who you are, to make it simple for them. You worry about you. Why don't you worry about you, your family, your kids, all that other stuff? Worry about you. Literally. I don't really concern myself with how you rate. When I see people with their kids and I hear other people around me go, that's not how you're supposed to raise a child. I'm like, first of all, that's their child. Why don't y'all stay out of their business? They don't have nothing to do with you. If that's how they want to raise, if they want to mess their child up, by the way, they're going to mess them up. Period. And every parent, I'm sorry to say that you're going to mess your child up in some way. Yeah. There's like no perfect child exists. Mm-hmm. And we are now living in a world where we're all trying to figure out our own traumas. Period. Which, by the way, is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Because now we're talking about mental health more than we've ever. Yeah. There's so many ads on podcasts. Mm-hmm. What is that thing called? Like, oh shit, I don't remember. It's always on every podcast. It's like a mental health that you can use from home. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and now online you can, I mean, when you look at your Facebook pages, when you go online, you can do sessions from home. You can do Zoom. Yeah, Zoom has Zoom really Zoom 2020 has made video conferencing. You know, we've had video conferencing for like the last 15 years, but we never really used it. Yeah. And during COVID, video conferencing became the thing. Now you can't. Now everybody uses it. They do. Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily have to be Zoom. There's so many different avenues. Google or some places have their own thing. Girl, I've had FaceTime on my phone for God knows how long. Do you know that since COVID, all I do is use FaceTime when I call my friends and all this other stuff, because now I want to see their faces. Yeah, it's been a long time. Mm-hmm, it's been a long time. So zooming and all this other stuff. Y'all, we met during COVID. You and I met during COVID. Mm-hmm. Good Lord. Here's a growler shout out. Mm-hmm. Like, if anyone wants to tell me their story on the podcast. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this seems interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, I had literally just moved here. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why not? Bitch, I already been here for a year. I've been in Houston for a year now. You have done so much. You have done so much in that year. And your Bitch Boy Undies is taking off. Mm-hmm. Your drag queen, your drag career. It's had its up and downs. I think right now it's just like slowly, steady getting. It's just I'm just coasting with my drag right now. Mm-hmm. We'll see. But your drag aesthetic has really picked up. I'm really seeing you more behind the sewing machine, coming up with some of the most creative outfits. Yeah. Very creative outfits when you do drag. And I made this like Victorian era vampire witch dress. Mm-hmm. I don't know where yesterday, but I haven't had I decided to change my number because I wanted more upbeat numbers. Mm-hmm. But it's really cute. I made like these giant poofy sleeves, and then I made like I bought all the fabric at Goodwill. Like they were giant curtains. Mm-hmm. It's all velvet. It's all really beautiful, big poofy sleeves. Mm-hmm. And by the way, are you still doing your? Y'all can still check him out on TikTok. On TikTok, I haven't said anything, but yeah, I have. Mm-hmm. I'm eventually going to get back to it, but I've just been, I think this past month of June, probably made easily over 150 jockstrap. Mm-hmm. I was so tired. I made like 30-something for the Eagle shop. I had like a shitload of commissions. It was a lot. Mm-hmm. This whole month was like crazy busy. Mm-hmm. I had 2 weeks in the month of June where I could not touch my room because I was so busy. Mm-hmm. And I would sleep like 3 hours a day, then go back at it. Mm-hmm. But I took some time. I'm like after I took a week after Pride, and then I cleaned my whole house. Mm-hmm. And then going into that, do I have time to tell the acid story? Or should I wait? Do you want to take a little bit of a break? Yeah, we can take a little break, and then we can start off with the acid. And then we can start off with the acid story. But it's this episode is a little intimate episode between me and Charlotte because we, like I said, she's not going to be doing the show as often. She's gonna be out doing her stuff. She'll still pop in every now and then, but you know what? I'm still gonna miss you, girl.
I miss you too.
I'm still gonna miss you, girl. But you know what? You work at the Eagle. I'm just gonna pop up there and have a cocktail.
Always there.
I know. You're literally always there, so I can just pop up there and say hello, have a cocktail.
Yeah.
Flirt with the bartenders, especially the tall one with the wavy hair. Oh my God, he is so cute, girl.
The tall one with the wavy. Is it Josh Kelly?
I think it's Josh Kelly.
Like he's like white.
Yeah. So he's super white, girl. Yeah. I'll be no harm, Josh. But yeah, he is. I mean, he's clean cut white.
He is. He looks like Superman or something.
Mm-hmm, exactly. It's like he looks like he has no scarring in his.
He looks like he takes. He goes to therapy.
Oh my God! I felt bad because we're riffing on Josh. Right
no, Josh. Yeah, Josh can take it. Josh can take it.
I hope he can take it. I haven't had a man that tall in my bed with his legs up in the air in quite some time. That's a challenge, by the way. That's a challenge because that's a lot of legs to hold on to.
Yeah.
That's a lot. I'm 6 foot, and for me, that's I'm pretty tall.
Yeah.
But when you have a man that's 6 foot. The last man I had was 6'8", and he was a bottom. Mm-hmm. And girl, it was the most awkward thing. it was fun, but it was so awkward.
6'8"? Holy shit!
He was 6'8". First of all, he's hanging off the door. He's hanging off my queen size bed. His legs and feet are hanging off my queen size bed. I'm like,
his legs are like.
I'm like looking at him while he's asleep. I'm like, let all that. That is a lot of legs.
Like the whole Slender Man.
I know. I'm like, and yes, he was skinny. He was skinny, and well, we're gonna talk about that part on the acid trip episode. All right. Well, acid trip part of this show in just a second. Let's take a quick break.
Alrighty.
All right, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Hello. Let's get into your acid story.
Oh, geez. So, was it Sunday night we went out drinking with my friends, and then they all came over. Mm-hmm. Then I remember they gave me like a little paper tab, mm-hmm. and I took it. Then literally 10 minutes later I fell asleep. Mm-hmm. I woke up the next morning still a little like, it just felt like you're high on weed. Mm-hmm. So then they're like, do you want to do more? And I was like, mm-hmm. Why not? Let's do it. I don't work today. My mm-hmm. roommate's out of town. So they cut up a little piece and I took it. Then it was two of my friends there. Then one of my friends like, hey, I have to leave. I have to go like turn in my car rental. Mm-hmm. So then I had like this whole idea that I wanted to make this whole costume today. I wanted to just spend the day sewing. Mm-hmm. So my friend and I went to the fabric store and it was closed. And I was like, shit. So then let's just go to Hobby Lobby and then go to Goodwill to see if we can find some creepy fabric. Mm-hmm. We were in Hobby Lobby and it hit there. Well, we went to get Starbucks and I didn't know this. I've never done LSD, mm-hmm. acid, anything like that before. So it's an upper. Mm-hmm. So when you take caffeine, it makes you more mm-hmm. chaotic. Mm-hmm. So I'm over here drinking my coffee and I'm like, oh, why does this feel so, why do I feel mm-hmm. I'm fucking high as shit. Mm-hmm. So we're just chilling inside Hobby Lobby, and then I start noticing that I'm high because I just felt so euphoric, so happy, mm-hmm. Everything was so pretty, everyone was being really nice, mm-hmm. and you know how in Hobby Lobby they have random little stands of shit. Mm-hmm. So they had one that was all these little hidden pockets. You open it, it's one of the ballerina things. You open it, mm-hmm. and there's a little space to put jewelry or pills or something in there. Mm-hmm. So I opened each one and then I closed them. And then the next little stand was those sand, what are the glass hour sand things? Mm-hmm. So I literally, me and my friends start flipping all of them, and then we're like, let's get the fuck out of here before they run out. So then I bought some fabric there. Then I went to Goodwill, and then we just start looking at all these fucking creepy ass shit. Then we start listening to other people's conversations, and we're like, oh, why is he so mad? It's 11 in the morning. Then we just kept on laughing the whole time, and then we were waiting in line, and it felt like it took forever because you're so antsy and so like ready to do things. We were fucking in line for 10 minutes, and it felt like an hour. Then we're waiting in line, then I see this fucking horse, like that's on a stick. But instead of the horse head, it's a fucking elephant. So I started looking at it, I started touching it, like, this is so cute. Like, I want it. So we ended up buying that whole thing. It was fucking chaotic. And then my friend's like, I have to go to the Galleria Mall. Then I was like, ooh, like, okay, let's go. We're in the Galleria Mall. We're fucking tripping. We just feel high. Everything is like, also, when you're on acid, you sweat a lot. I did not know this. And then if you don't drink enough water, you can get dehydrated. So I'm over here. We're in the mall. Like, we have my AC that's super cold, and it's humid, and it's about to rain. We go inside the mall, then we're both, like, fucking dying. we're, like, both sweating, and then we go to Morphe, which is, like, a makeup store. And in a lot of makeup stores, they have pictures, like, posters like this, with, like, people's faces showing off the makeup, the lipstick, etc. So I went in there, and I was like, hey, I want to get my color matched for foundation, because I never have time to go to the mall. So we go in there, and this lady's, like, doing my makeup and everything. And then I look in the mirror, then behind me in the mirror is like a picture of a lady smiling. So I'm like looking at myself in the mirror, tripping out. You're not supposed to look at yourself in the mirror when you're tripping. So I'm just like in this whole like moment. My friend's like, hey, like, and the lady's like, which one do you like more? I'm like, this one, because she did 2 different colors. Then I'm talking to her, then I fucking fully jumped. And like, oh my god. And she's like, what? I'm like, that fucking poster behind me scared the shit out of me. Because it was just a lady creeping like. So we're like walking around the makeup store. Then the manager comes up to us and he's like, hey, are you guys okay? We're like, yeah, we're just, we don't really go out this early in the daytime, whatever. And so we cashed out. I got some makeup, some lipsticks. And then we went to, where the fuck did we go? We went to H&M. And the H&M in the mall is like 2 stories.
Yeah. So
we went through the women's side. And then we went downstairs. And then we went back upstairs, and they were like, oh shit, we didn't look at the hat, so we went back downstairs. And the whole time we're like grabbing the rail because the how the stairs are there, they're all clear. And then I was like going down there, and also when you're on acid, I didn't know this, is like your joints hurt. Like your joints for your legs and your feet, they feel weird. I did not know this. So I'm like walking down the stairs, and I'm like, oh, my feet hurt. And just everything felt so weird. We got some smoothies. I was scared to eat food because I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh, all the chemicals they put inside food, it's gonna fuck me up more. So I'm just gonna eat like fruits, smoothies, like fresh stuff. Like your mind is somewhere else. And then we're walking around the mall. Then we're like, where the fuck are we going? So we're like, we found this like little corner of like these little baby mannequins that are like literally this big. And I was like, why is there clothes on them? Why is there baby mannequins? Like, it was so fucking creepy. So then we're in the elevator. We thought the elevator was gonna get stuck. So then we get our stuff, we do whatever, then we go back to my house, and then it's like monsooning outside. We go back to my house. It was fucking crazy driving. I didn't drive, my friend drove while you're like tripping. And then, don't do that. And then we got some waters from the gas station. We went back to my house, and I started creating this like outfit. I've used my machine probably hundreds of times, thousands probably. And I started sewing. And I got so scared of my sewing machine because like it cuts and it sews. And then I got really close to it. And I'm like, oh fuck, like, because it's like super scary. And then I'm like, I can imagine people that don't know how to sew, then they see this machine with a sharp ass blade cutting and sewing, how they would get scared. So then I just took a break from sewing. I'm like to my friend, like, hey, I need to find a way to like chill because I'm like so scared of my sewing machine. I feel like this bitch is gonna bite me. So then we literally go to my room for 4 hours. We were on TikTok. Yes, 4 hours. We were just on TikTok watching videos. And then at one point, I don't know if we were still tripping. Our TikToks kept on being the same. And we were like, what the fuck? But it was a lot lot of fun. Our friend came over later. We ordered some pizza. Then we went to this place called the Everglades in the Memorial Park, which is like this giant lake. And oh my god, so when you're on there, when you're like literally, I feel like for me, when I was on acid, I felt like everything was a message. So I was walking to the Everglades, and out of nowhere, this like little miniature schnauzer like literally runs into my leg and then runs away into the woods. Then I was like, what the fuck? So I started getting paranoid. I'm like, oh my god, this is like a bad like omen. It's telling me to leave. So we get to the park and I start getting anxious, and everyone's like, what's wrong with you? Then I was like, we gotta leave. That fucking dog hit me and I'm scared that something's gonna happen. So we ended up leaving. Then that's when we started like coming down from it. We weren't high as much. We went to my friend's car. I had to go to Eagle to pick up my check. And then we went to Smoothie King, got a smoothie. I ordered a small. This bitch gave me like an extra large, like literally a giant cup. It took 2 days for me to drink that shit, but
it took 2 days to drink a smoothie.
Yeah, it was this big. It was like literally like 40 ounces.
Oh really? Oh wow, that's a lot of smoothie.
I didn't even know they made it that size.
Do they? Why would you make a smoothie that size?
I don't know.
Who needs a smoothie in a 40 ounce cup?
I ordered a small. I ordered like what is it, a 16 ounce or whatever it is. This bitch gave me a whole thing.
Well, wait, because Julio raised his hand when I said the 40 ounce. Is that after you go to the gym? That's why you need a 40?
After, there's days I wake up and I don't want to eat like a meal.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. The one that I
you know what?
like, yeah,
that makes sense.
It's like filler, so it fills you up for like a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I do with my that's what I do with my protein shakes. Sometimes I'll just have a protein shake in the morning and I'm full until at least 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
I will say that like doing that thing really like opened up my eyes and like told me, I was like, yo, I'm too connected to my phone. I'm like too connected to work. And like I took like the whole day off, was it yesterday, to relax. And then it was just cool. It was just a mind, you look at things so differently. Like you're like it just feels euphoric. You're just like on a cloud, you're vibing, everything's cool. And the way that I looked at it was like, if I had one negative thought, I was like, I'm gonna let her go, because then I'm gonna be around the whole like negative thought about it. So it was really cool. It was a different experience. I had a bunch of ideas. I should have wrote them down, a bunch of ideas where like my mind was just like, like just spewing out things. I had an idea of making fanny packs for big boys now, because I'm like, that's such a thing that's not there.
Fanny packs are back in. Yeah. Why are fanny packs back in? I just think fanny packs are ugly.
They're cute. They're whatever.
I just think they're so ugly. First of all...
And there's some cute fanny packs.
First of all, I feel like we need to summarize your LSD acid trip with a few things that you do not do, because a few things that you do not do while you're on acid.
Well, for me, I think it's because my trip started kicking in, was being in big public spaces, like the mall, because we just fully like went around the mall. Then we're like, where the fuck are we going? Why are we here? And then we literally were just sitting there at the benches. They're like, why did we come here? They were like, oh, we came here to Hot Topic to get a septum ring for my friend. And then we literally were there for 10 minutes trying to figure out why we came here. Because then I got distracted. Bitch, I saw those people ice skating, and I was like cheering them from the third floor. I was like, yes! Like, you better twirl, bitch.
So, a couple of things. We need to make sure we drink plenty of water.
Oh, plenty of water.
I'm picking up on the things that... You know, if people are listening and want to try LSD for the first time, there's a couple of things that you want to do.
You could probably take Tums beforehand, because it's literally acid. What you're I didn't know this. That's why it's called acid, because it's like an acid. So when it gets in your stomach, my stomach was hurting like a motherfucker. I couldn't eat, so make sure to at least like drink something. Or that's why I drink the smoothies, because I ate something and it felt so weird. Oh my god, pooping felt so weird. It's just like, you know things that you don't think about that you do every day. Then I was like over there pooping, and I was like, what is this?
Things that you become conscious of.
Yeah. And it's just around, and then I started cleaning like crazy. Then I was like, because I was looking at things from a different perspective. So then I organized my sewing room to make it look nicer. It was just a lot.
So, because mind altering Now this is me reading stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a big reader.
Yeah.
Mind-altering drugs like that really, supposedly, really do open your mind up and really allow you to focus on things that you realize aren't super important, that you've made important, and you're like, this is ridiculous.
It was a nice reset. Honestly, my friend told me about it. Then he's like, oh, we're going to do it on Sunday. Then I was like, I don't know if I'm interested. Then I was just like, I need something to reset myself because I've been like just being a downward spiral asshole, just like in my mind. And then it's just nice to like actually like looking at things from a different perspective. And it was cool. It was nice. I'm ready to do more things now. I'm ready to like relax.
All of the, you know what? The only thing that pisses me off about, yes, there is one thing about this that pisses me off. Girl, I've been telling you for months, you need to calm down. You need to relax. You need to take some time for you, girl. But you always running around trying to do
too much.
Too much. You were trying to make sure you were here for the show. You were trying to do all the stuff you needed to do for Bitch Boy. You were trying to do, girl, at one point you were doing costumes for the drag queens. You were trying to do your own show. You were doing orders for Bitch Boy. You were rushing here to do a show, and then rushing out to go do some other stuff. Girl, you were all over the place. And I'm kind of glad that LSD kind of like opened your mind to the fact that, girl, take care of yourself.
Yeah,
make sure you take
that's
care.
That's what it was. It was just like, chill, bitch.
Take care of yourself, because you know what? I've been talking to a lot of 20-year-olds with high blood pressure, with bad knees and ankles and backs and all this stuff. I'm like, y'all, wait a minute, y'all too young to have all this stress. When I talk about the fact that my blood pressure is high, I'm over 50. That's pretty normal.
Yeah.
For most, especially African American men, over 40, 50.
Yeah.
We usually have blood pressure issues, so that's not unusual. But when you talk to like somebody 25, 30 whose blood pressure is worse than yours, or who has heart conditions and all this stuff, I'm like, ooh, y'all, millennials and Gen Zers, y'all got too much stress going on. Slow down. Remember self-care, y'all. Y'all been preaching self-care, but y'all don't practice it. Y'all not practicing self-care. Y'all need the self-care. Girls, make sure you self-care. Yeah. And I'm glad that LSD did help you understand that.
Literally, it was
I need to take a breath.
The whole day I just relaxed. Even when I tried working, I just got anxious. I was like, put this away. Like,
I don't think I'm ready to go down acid road because I'm so inside of my head. I am too. I think it would be such a horrifying experience, because I have had friends who did it, and they had like you had the most euphoric, wonderful experience on the planet.
So good.
And then other people who said it was a nightmare.
I think it's just because they typically don't really get high. It just honestly just felt like you're like the high you have when you smoke weed, but it was just clean. Because I was just like, my head was light. I was just chilling. Everything was so funny. Was so funny. Like fucking, I was laughing at mannequins because they were just there.
Because I still have friends who are still trying to get me to try mushrooms, but they want to do it. I don't understand this part of this though, because it always seems to happen. They want to be in the woods when it happens. Yeah, I'm like, do you really? I heard that too. Do you really want me in the woods on mushrooms? It could either be.
I mean, I want to go to the woods on mushrooms.
I could either be.
That one is hot.
Here's what could happen. I could either be Willow of the Wisp and just running around like a forest fairy, having a fantastic time throughout the forest. Petting bears, petting bears, playing with rabbits, that kind of thing. Or I could easily turn into Jason and y'all dead. Like you get Joel, where'd you come from? How'd you sneak up on us like that?
Out of the water.
Yeah, exactly. Just coming on out of the water.
How are you walking out on water, Joel? Don't worry about it. With your machete.
Yeah, exactly. How are you doing that, Joel? I don't know.
There is no God here.
Exactly. That's pretty much the gist of it. So
But it's cool. I recommend. I do recommend. It's fun if you want like a whole mental reset, and I've had that, and it's cool. I was scared, but it felt really good. I probably won't do it again for like another few years, just because I don't want to like get used to it.
I think now that I'm a little older, I don't want to look. I'm just going to put my foot down here. LSD and I are probably never going to meet, but I might try mushrooms at least once.
Like at least once, like that, yeah.
Because I like the idea of, I don't know,
like
I mean, if you can look, if I'm having a good time and I'm naked in a tree after doing mushrooms, I'm happy with it.
I did my first little paper. I did only one paper, but it was like 9 in the morning. I did the acid and then didn't go to sleep until like 2:30 at night because it's an upper and you're just like awake. And then I usually like listening to like crime junkies or watching scary movies, and I was like, girl, if I watch this, my ass is dead.
Yeah, exactly. I will literally have a heart attack.
I really thought about listening to a crime junkies podcast while I was cleaning, and I got so terrified. And I was like, no, girl, like listen to something happy, or just be in your own head. And I was just chilling, talking to myself.
Girl, I freak out when I smoke weed and watch one of those things. I'm like, I can't.
My friend was in my room and I was sewing, and he was going through it. Like he's like, get it together, girl, get it together. And in my head, I was like, oh my god, am I gonna get like that? Then I was like, no, that's him. He's going through it.
Everybody has their own experience.
Yeah, and I was over here I was just like being super quiet.
Everybody has their own experience, so it's like each experience is individual to that person. But like I said, it's just for me, it's just a fear of, am I going to go to the light side or the dark side?
Yeah. My friend I text my friend. I told my friends that I was on LSD. Then they're like, follow the light. I was like, what light? Like, I'm just vibing. He's like, drink water. I was like, I know.
Because I know that the one time that, and I know I've told this story 1,000 times. I mean, literally 1,000 times. But that one time I accidentally took E on the dance floor at South Beach. Thinking it was gum, or no, I thought it was a breath mint. That's what it was. I thought it was a breath, because I'm dancing. Somebody pops it in my mouth. My friend goes, "What the fuck, dude? You don't just put something in you." I thought he was handing me a Tic Tac. I thought he was just telling me that my breath was bad or something. I didn't realize it was girl. I had a good time.
I don't really feel. I've taken E before. I didn't really feel anything. It felt like an Adderall. But the music felt better.
My cousin stayed with me for several hours. He goes, "You would not stop dancing. Even when music wasn't playing, you were still. I got you home. I made sure you were hydrated, and I sat on the couch, and you just turned on music, and you would not stop dancing until you collapsed. You literally collapsed." And I woke up the next day, wondering why my whole body ached, because she
would have stopped dancing.
She would not, and you know what?
I tried it a few times.
Yeah,
it's nice.
And honestly, I love dancing. So love it. So I'm not surprised.
I've never had like an E trip though. That's like
I think that was my E trip. I loved it.
It's just I take a lot of Adderall, then it just felt like an Adderall, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so for me, it was all about the dance, and and even to this day, I turn on the music, and I just dance around the house.
Yeah.
And when I'm feeling, or when I'm cleaning up, or what have you, just get that music going. Depends on, and I can go old school, I can go modern. Doesn't really matter to me. I mean, I love music, period. So I can jump back and forth in time, so to speak, when it comes to music. And some of the kids, some of the music is pretty damn good.
The new music?
The new music is pretty damn good.
It is.
I love the fact that I have arguments with my older kin about, oh my God, this music is so, oh my God, it's so nasty and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, let me remind you of when you were growing up, and some of the music that you were listening to that you did not know what was going on, but now you should know what's going on. It was just as nasty back then. It doesn't bother me in the least. But I hate when, and it feels like it's been going on for generations. Now I understand as an older guy.
Yeah.
going through the whole process of getting older and listening to, as people get older, listen, ooh, the music is not as good as it was in the old days, and blah. It used to be like about having fun and dancing and all this other stuff. I'm like, I grew up in the 90s. None of that music was fun. That music was hard, from rap all the way to grunge rock. It was hard, and it was sometimes depressing, and it was exactly what he needed to hear at that time. Mm-hmm. So, but also out of that, house music was more, and house music stole my soul, girl.
Yeah, house music was always good.
House music just stole my soul.
Like in high school, going on the Benny Benassi website and listening to his live streams. Because that was the only site that wasn't blocked.
South Beach and Heaven, dancing all night long, or Pacific Street when it was open. The beautiful thing about Pacific Street is that the dance floor wasn't super crowded because everybody was at the bar trying to get drugs. It's closed now, but I can talk about it now. But back in all the drug dealers would be all around the bar, so everybody would be at the bar. They'd be getting more stuff from the drug dealers than they did from the bartenders.
Screaming.
The bartenders would get upset and tell them, y'all can't hang out at my bar. I remember a bartender telling one of the drug dealers, y'all, no, you see my tip jar? No, there's no money in this because y'all taking all that money away from me. Get away from my bar.
You're crowding up my
space. Exactly. You're crowding up my space. So,
go in the bathroom. Go into the bathroom. Pretend
Exactly. Go to the bathroom.
I'm surprised that Houston doesn't have that. Mostly all the bars in Florida have bathroom attendants. Mm-hmm. So they have like perfume, like a little perfume section.
There was one bar. I'm trying to remember. Was it Guava? I think it was Guava Lamp.
Oh, I don't know.
That had a bathroom attendant. I don't recall JR's ever having one. No, JR's never had one. But I think one of the bars here had one for a little bit. But I never understood the idea of a bathroom attendant. I don't want somebody standing there watching me pee and then trying to put perfume on me when I'm trying to leave.
They make like tips. I remember they have like...
Yeah, because they guilt you into it because they standing there looking sad. You looking at them and they're like, oh, you look so sad. I'll take some gum and here's $5. I'm like, and then my friend's like, we just paid $5 to pee. How much sense does that make?
Well, you get a little perfume spray and everything. Mm-hmm. And they have all the nice ones too.
And and I don't mean no harm, but it was always poor. It was always black men over 60 who just looked like they did not want to be there at all. They did not want to be there, and I was like, oh, okay. I guess I'm paying to pee. So and I always tip my bathroom attendants, but I'm like, no, you know what? That was Austin. That was Oil Can Harry's that had the bathroom attendant, which, like I said, once again, an old black man in the bathroom. And I don't mean no harm to old black men because now I'm an old black man, but still, it was old black man. And I'm like, why do we need one? I mean, at least have a fiery queen in the bathroom to make it fun or something.
A queen, just a queen in there.
Yes, exactly. But, you know,
I'll be like, give me a shot.
Mm-hmm. The last thing I want, but at the same time, the last thing I want is some queen making fun of my size and then having to tell her, look, I'm a grower. I know it doesn't look much right now, but later on, it's a lot.
Like, don't look too close.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, when I go pee, that's my pee time. I like to, I'm focused on peeing. I never understood some of these queens that like to take a pee. Take a quick, and some of them don't even take a peek. They just look dead at it.
Like right 2 inches away.
I'm like, girl,
you trying to take a sip? Doesn't know.
Girl, no, this is not a water fountain. My eyes are up here, girl. It happens a lot it used to happen a lot on the down low, especially with down low men.
Record. Always. Or
not even at the gay bars. Like when I would go to the airport.
Oh, the airport.
The bus station was the worst.
The Galleria bathrooms.
The Greyhound bus station was the worst.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I wasn't going to, I wasn't taking a ride. I just ran in because we had gone shopping downtown and I needed to pee. So I just ran in there to use the bathroom. And there's two men on the side of me and they both right there on my dick. And I'm like, God, okay. One's a security guard, and the other one, I don't know what he. But I'm like, even the security guard is looking at my little dick. I mean, come on, come on now. It was kind of exciting. I was young. It was exciting. You know, you're young, and all that attention is being paid to you, and you're like,
You're
okay,
ready for it.
all right, okay, get ready for it. But now it's like, you know, like I said, I'm a straight ahead. You know, we can talk. We can talk about it afterwards, but I don't need.
Well, that's not what's actually happening.
I'm not really into watching a man pee. It's just not my thing. My God, we talk. You know what, Charlotte? I have said this on every show, and you and I both know this. No matter how serious the subject that we talk about,
Yeah, we talk about dick.
no matter what we're talking about, it really, we do just devolve to right down to talking about dick. I even told Wendy Taylor, and I had such a good time. Let me tell you something, Charlotte. Wendy Taylor and I, the first time I talked to her on the phone, we talked for almost an hour. And all I wanted to do was find out what time she was going to come. That's all I wanted to do when I talked to her. And we talked for an hour like we had known each other for years. For years. And then when we did the show together, we had so much fun doing the show. Half of the time, I don't even know what we talked about. We talked about pride. We talked about bottoming. We talked about bottoms. Because I feel like every year I need to say this at Pride: bottoms, stop being ashamed of being a bottom. You are nothing wrong. I mean, it takes a man to be able to. It takes a man to take it.
Yeah, period.
It's easy to be at the top is the easiest job in the world. It really is. Bottoms, they don't. None of y'all understand what it takes to keep that kitchen clean. The work and effort bottoms into to make sure the tops get what they need. That's why I praise bottoms more than tops. Because I'm versatile. I've been there. I know both back and front. So, and we just talked about so much stuff that we could have been there for 4 hours. Honestly, we had to stop at 2 because they told me to stop at 2. Now we gonna work something out for Pride, but they told me to stop at 2. But, you know, she and I had such a good time and everything else. She was a wonderful guest host. She's probably one of the best guest hosts I had. No offense, Julio. No offense, Julio.
Quit.
Okay, he was close second. No, almost tied. So, you know, when Julio can't do the show, I'm gonna call Wendy. Because, I mean, she is a hoot, and because she's so well known in the community and everything else, it was a pleasure to have her on the show. But nobody, and absolutely nobody, can replace you, Charlotte. Nobody can replace you.
The chaos.
The chaos, the drama.
The C in Charlotte is chaos.
That soft voice that... It's kind of like your voice is...
Operator.
Yeah. You could have an ASMR thing going on just from talking. Just from talking, you could literally ease people's spirits. Just from having and you could literally just be talking about ordering something from Starbucks.
Like today, we're going to be ordering a large matcha tea latte.
See, I feel comforted already.
Almond milk, extra sweet.
And you know, you've always complimented me because you know I'm this big, boisterous, loud voice. To your, hey, it's gonna be okay. Joel, calm down. You're having too much of a good time over there. No more cocktails for you. Oh, good Lord. So, friendly reminder, Julio, don't bring no whiskey over here no more when we do a show. We can have whiskey afterwards. Don't bring no whiskey while we're doing this show.
Like that one time where you fell asleep at the microphone.
Yes, girl. I fell asleep at my gaming chair is so comfortable. It is so comfortable.
You fell asleep on the chair?
And I fell asleep right in that chair. We had such a good time, though.
Yeah.
I mean, my goodness. I went back and listened to that episode, and I'm like, oh, my God. We were all giggling and laughing and just having such a good time. And I could tell.
Me, you, Jacob, and Jacob's friend.
Oh, that was horrific. Oh my God, that was horrific. I think that was one of our first episodes.
Yeah, I think it was like our first guest.
It was our first guest. That was horrific. Afterwards, oh my God. Jesus Christ. I don't want to get too much into, I really wish I could tell the entire story, but I don't want people to, the two people who were here, I don't want them to, well, Jacob, he's already been on the show, so he doesn't have a problem with it, but the other person might have a problem with it, so I don't want to, I don't need him coming down and,
yelling at us,
especially mostly yelling at me, because I get the full brunt of whatever happens with the show. Is like, oh, well, Joel did it. And I'm like, I got a co-host. Can he get half of But, I got the full brunt of it. But I didn't mind, and we were having fun. And that was one of the first episodes that we did together, and even though the show was good, but it's the after show, it's the after part that was a complete disaster. Yeah. Oh my God. That was a complete disaster. So lessons were learned.
Yeah, lessons were learned.
Lessons were learned. When that episode we did where you were, the many episodes we've done where you've had to put on makeup before you had to run out the door and do a show that night when you were doing all your shows at Ripcord, which was fun. Mm-hmm. Still have lots of pictures of those and all that other stuff. It's been an incredible year.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And you have really, you got me out of my shell. I'm not going to say you turned me into an entertainer. I think you turned me into someone more confident behind the mic than ever before, because...
Now you met like a bunch of people. You met Julio, you met buddies, all these other people that...
Exactly. All through you. Mm-hmm. So everything happened through you. You're like Jesus. Everything happens through Jesus Christ. Everything happens between Charlotte shotguns. I'm sorry, not between. Everything happens through Charlotte shotgun. So I've gotten to ride with you on that same ride, because you were also meeting people in the community and everything else, trying to establish yourself. So I kind of piggybacked off of that, and that's been very thrilling, and it's helped me personally. Because, like I said, when we talked, the first time we talked, I told you I was going to quit the show over the summer, because I was pretty much done, and I had no co-host, and I had no confidence behind the mic by myself. Mm-hmm. And when we first hooked up, and I asked you, the first time we did the first interview we did, when I interviewed you, and the most fascinating thing was the fact that you and your boyfriend at the time decided to just get a trailer and just go cross country. Mm-hmm. And you were doing shows. You would stop in at a bar and say, "Hey, I need to can I do a show?" And blah 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 blah. And you one part, all your costumes and all this stuff. I started thinking about AJ and the Queen when you were telling me that story. Although your story is much more fascinating than AJ and the Queen was. No offense.
Glamorous. We didn't have a glamorous.
Yeah, exactly. No offense, RuPaul, but
she literally was living like a queen in her thing. I was living like a hillbilly, like doing my makeup in the front of a car in the middle of Kentucky on the way to the gig.
But you showed how scrappy you were, and how you were. I think honestly, a lot of people don't seem to understand this. When you watch RuPaul's Drag Race now. When you think about how much money they spent on the costumes and makeup and tens of thousands of the last season episode, most of the girls spent over $150,000.
Yeah, I've been watching the budgets for
on their season finale outfits. That's $150,000. Which on the first show, most of these girls didn't even spend $1,000.
Yep.
So you can tell how far they've come, but at the same time, it's got to the point where these girls...
RuPaul doesn't want to see no more H&M.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, RuPaul needs to remember that she started with H&M. Most of these girls started with H&M. And I understand that you want the show to grow and evolve, but I miss the queens that made their own stuff and turned it into fashion. instead of going out to designers and
getting everything designed.
Getting everything designed for them. And these same bitches come on and don't know how to sew. Why do you bother? I don't even know why she bothers to have sewing challenges anymore. I think that's one thing that, let's be honest here.
I think it's just like a design challenge, just to see how versatile the queen is. Did you watch All Stars?
I am currently watching a little bit of All Stars here and there.
Yeah. With Jiggly.
What?
Oh, they're shaking the ice.
Girl, it's fine. I'm drinking Starbucks. Okay. You know, I'm gay. I'm drinking my iced coffee. Let me. Can I drink my iced coffee? It'll be all right. Everybody, girl, they've heard us clink glasses on here. They've heard me pour shots on here. A little iced coffee ain't gonna kill nobody. I think one episode they might have heard us smoking weed on here one time. You weren't here for that episode, girl. You should have been. That was fun.
Who are you waiting?
I don't remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look. I don't remember. I think it was just I think it was just me and Chris.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was just me and
Chris.
Spunkmeyer Brown. I'm sorry. I think it was just me and Spunkmeyer Brown.
He needs an easier name, like an easier alias.
He does need an easier alias.
Call him Smith, Joe Smith,
or just Spunky.
Yeah,
something. He's already talking about changing it anyway. But yeah, it was Spunky. Yeah, and Spunky and I had a good time. We don't even know what the hell we talked about. That's why this is one hot mess of a podcast, because you don't know what we're going to talk. We don't know what we're going to talk about.
Organized to nothing.
Yeah, exactly. We're only organized on the outside, but we get on the mics, you know, we have fun. We really do. And yes, we do try to talk about serious stuff sometimes, but, you know, we try to keep it light and airy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And try to have a good time. And, you know, remind people that, you know, Houston gay scene is fun. Mm-hmm. I've learned so much about the Houston gay scene now. It's ridiculous. And like
madness.
I said, it is madness. It's madness. It is madness. And you know, being able to, me being out till 3-4 in the morning, like I used to do in the old days, I'm like, I would never think that I would be back out here at 3-4 in the morning, especially after doing a buddy show. And it just brought back old memories. Mm-hmm. But girl, I was tired.
We were all tired.
We were all tired. I mean,
it's just that one where we went, after I went to the river and I was dead. Mm-hmm. And then the other time my roommate fully got jumped. Mm-hmm. That was a lot. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've had one regular buddy show where nothing's crazy. Something always happens.
Yeah, something always seems to happen. But like I said, we have a good time on this show, and I've had a great year with you.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a great year with you and a great time, and I have met a lot of people, like I said, through you. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, I feel more confident with what's going to be happening next season for the show.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to have you back on every now and then. And, you know, and to keep in touch.
Absolutely.
You know, we had our first Thanksgiving together, which was so cute. Mm-hmm. It was so cute. And, girl, I worked hard in that kitchen that day. I worked hard in that. And, you know, honestly, that was all impromptu. Because I had said that I was just going to order something real quick and then just watch a little TV and call it a day. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to call Charlotte, have her come in, and I cooked everything from YouTube, by the way. I got out my YouTube videos. I got everything prepped and ready. And, girl, I have to say,
you did a good job.
I cooked my ass off. My potato salad was amazing. My dressing was out of this world. Oh my God! Mm-hmm. I made some modifications to that dressing, by the way, but that dressing was out of this world. My turkey did not come out dry. You know, I've learned a lesson. You know, my stepmother, God love her, her turkeys come out dry every year. Every year, no matter how hard she tries, it just dry. It's like, oh, please pass that gravy. Please pass the gravy. But one little trick that she did not realize, and I told her this year, put some aluminum foil on top, and you need to let it rest. Because she would just cut right into the turkey as soon as it come out of the oven. She never let it rest. That was one little thing. Changed her whole turkey game.
Oh, wow.
You have to let it rest for at least 35 minutes to an hour so that the juices get back up. And look, I'm doing a cooking show now. You have to let it rest for an hour so the juices can flow back up into the meat.
Yeah.
And yes, girl, I cooked my ass off. Nothing was dry in this house. Not even us. We watched Legendary. I'd watched Legendary for the first time because she's like, girl, you got to watch this. And we had a good time.
I just finished the second season.
I have not finished the second season yet. I started binge, and I
just binge watched it yesterday.
So I saved certain things for binging, so I'm kind of saving that for a little, because, I run out of stuff to watch sometimes. So now I'm trying to cut back on the binging. I was binging way too much.
I watched the new iCarly too. That's pretty good.
Okay, I'm not, no.
Lacey Mosley's in there. She's a funny actor.
I mean, I'll go back to old Nickelodeon. I'm not ready for, I feel like
they curse and stuff there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay. It's an adult version?
Yeah, it's an adult version.
Kind of, they were going to do an adult version of Lizzie McGuire.
Oh, yeah?
They were talking about it, but they never did it. We ended up with Younger, which was a better show for her, by the way. So that's actually a pretty good show, and I watched it.
Younger?
So I would recommend watching that. That's a really good show. But they were going to do an adult version of Lizzie McGuire, but, Disney.
Yeah, iCarly was good. They have they have good actors. And the first episode, they're like, bitch. And I was like, what? Like, they're allowed to say that? But then they're like, we're all grown up, so that you could say anything.
Didn't think they would allow, now that they have the MCU shows, I didn't think they were going to allow cursing on Disney Channel when it comes to the MCU shows. But they do light cursing.
Yeah.
Light cursing. It's still for adults.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I did not appreciate the fact that Love, Simon, which was supposed to be on Disney Channel, got moved to Hulu. Because Disney still has a problem with LGBTQ representation. They'll bait us by saying that, hey, this character is gay, but then they don't let the character do anything. So we already went down that road with Beauty and the Beast.
Do you see Luca?
I have not seen Luca yet.
It's pretty good. It's not really gay. It just reminds you of two kids being friends at a young age.
Yeah, but from everything I read, I mean, it's so.
It's a really good.
It's so much queer coding in that. It's it's super trans.
It's like kids. So it's like when you're friends with someone young, you're super touchy with them. Like if they're your best friend. Yeah.
Yeah, but all kids are like that, though.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's what I got from it.
Yeah, all kids are a little experimental when it comes to their bodies and all this other stuff. I played house. I always wanted to be the wife, of course, but I played house. I was trying to figure out the difference between why my pee-pee didn't look like her pee-pee. Because when you're young and you're taking a bath together, and I don't have any, I didn't have any sisters, but I had a neighbor who my mother used to babysit, and we were best friends. And I used to play with her Barbies, and my dad would get so mad. But he never 100% stopped me, but he would get so mad. And we would bathe together and everything else, and it was no big deal at the time. But I did notice that we were different. I mean, not the fact that she was also white, but the fact that we were different. And I asked Mommy, and she said, "Well, she's a girl and you're a boy, and that's why you're different." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And that was it. That was my, I think, last interest in a girl. That should have been a start of me knowing that maybe something was a little bit off.
Yeah.
It was 6 when I found out there was definitely something off when it came to my sexuality, although I didn't know what the word was at the time. But still, you understand and you just do these things. You know what? This girl has to go to work at 3. So I'm going to go ahead and end the show here and just, Julio's going to post some pictures later online. But I just want to say that, like I said, I got a little emotional at the beginning. I've been a little emotional for the last couple of days because I'm like, Oh, she's leaving me. I didn't expect her to leave me for at least another 10 years.
Not 10 years.
I would be going to your wedding in Seattle. But now that your boyfriend's moving down here, I don't. Oh, good Lord, destination weddings. I don't have to do a Thank God, I don't have to do a destination wedding if you and your boyfriend ever get married.
I think if we have I think we're gonna have a regular wedding in Florida than our gay wedding here. Mm-hmm. If we do get married.
Mm-hmm.
But,
you know what? I can't wait to see what your wedding's going to be like. I bet it's going to be all over the place.
It's going to be like, our gay wedding's going to be super goth.
That's what I thought. I didn't want to say it, but it's going to be, I know it's,
talked about it already.
It's going to be super, super scary, but super fun.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait.
Yeah. I don't want to spell anything, but it's going to be sickening.
I just want to make sure I'm one of the bridesmaids. That's all. I just want the bridesmaid and the party that goes with it. Oh my God. You know what I think? I think we should get like a bunch of gays together and then go hit a straight bar and then act the fool at a straight bar like straight women do at a gay bar. Although I think we would probably get kicked out or laid or something.
I was just thinking about like renting the upstairs for a little cocktail hour. Just bar hopping.
You want to make it Sadiddy?
No. I want to have like a whole wedding thing, and then like I don't know how late venues open, but see if they'll let me like rent the top of Eagle, have a little cocktail hour, then just like disperse afterwards. That'd be cool. Just go bar hopping.
Yeah, that would be cute.
You know, they had a wedding upstairs at Eagle when I worked there.
Oh really?
It was one of the outdoor guys.
Oh really?
He got married. A year later, they got divorced. It was literally a shotgun wedding. Like they met 1 week, and by the end of that month, they're like, "We're getting married."
Were they straight?
Live gay. Gay couple got married upstairs.
How was the shotgun wedding with the gay?
Joe officiated the wedding.
There
was a whole wedding upstairs.
I'm having Annalie officiate. We told her, but
so talk to Dan. See, they'll do a wedding upstairs.
That's sickening.
Who got pregnant that they had to have a shotgun wedding?
They just said it. Yeah.
2 days that got hitched like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, because I was fixing to say, did one of them nurse an STD or something that they had to get married? Or
he used to be my roommate.
Oh wow!
And then when they got married, they became like toxic with each other and toxic with their friends.
Girl, bye. This is why I keep.
They met that week. By the end of the month, they told everybody they were getting married.
Oh no! You don't get married after.
We all told them.
Oh Lord!
Them. And then they didn't get to know each other first. By the end of that year, they became so toxic with each other. They eventually divorced each other. All that. You know what? You know what the problem was? They should have gone to lesbians for advice, because if you're gonna get married after a week, lesbians who got married after a week, they've been together for 20, 30 years. I know we gotta wrap it up. I'm sorry, I can easily just turn this into a funny story, but still. So we gotta get Charlotte out of here. Charlotte, hurry up and get on out of that chair, because Julio's getting in that chair. You just, I don't need you no more, girl. I don't need you no more.
Taking this.
I replace you with a better model.
Oh.
I'm kidding. She's sitting there going, "Damn, is she talking to me like?" I'm just, girl. You've known me for a year. You know, I'm just kidding. You know, I'm just doing it with love. I'm doing it with love, and I'm just trying to build up his ego, because you still the best. See, now we're even. All right, we're going to say bye. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
This show is sponsored by Tubi's Woodworking. Tubi gives you wood. Also brought to you by Bitch Boy Undies. Get you a pair or else. You can follow the show on most social media at That Lil Gay Talk Show. Check out the website, thatlilgaytalks.com. Music and vocals by Jamie D of Diamond Cut Entertainment.